Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. I'm Staff Sergeant Eddie Alisana, and I will be the narrator for today's ceremony. On behalf of today's presiding official, the Commander, 9th Air and Space Expeditionary Task Force Afghanistan, Major General Jim Hecker, welcome to the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing Change of Command Ceremony, at which Brigadier General Jim Sears will relinquish command to Brigadier General Craig Baker. While the change of command ceremony predates the United States, it has become an American military tradition. Our nation's first ceremony dates back to 3 July 1775, when General George Washington drew his sword under an elm tree in Cambridge, Massachusetts, to assume command of the Continental Army. During the American Revolution, military units carried distinctive flags designed to match the color of their uniforms and depicted a motto selected by the commander. When soldiers followed their leader into battle, this flag provided a highly visible point around which members of the unit could rally during the fog of war. Because of its importance, the flag was used in the Continental Army's earliest change of command ceremony. The organization's banner was exchanged in full view, so every soldier could see the officer now entrusted to lead them into battle. The modern ceremony is principally symbolic, yet it still announces to all the authority of the incoming commander. Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of musical honors, the singing of the national anthem sung by Senior Airman Calvin Johnson, and the invocation given by Chaplain Greg Jans.
Colors! Ho! Reset! Ho!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, o'er so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air. brave.
Order. Halt! Colors. Colors turn. Colors!
I invite you to join me in a word of prayer. Great and loving God, Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer, we pause for a moment this sunny morning in war-torn Afghanistan to reflect on your protection, your goodness, and your daily blessings on each of us. As we gather for this change of command for the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing, we give you the glory for the sterling leadership, enduring dedication, and committed stewardship of Brigadier General Jim Sears. We are thankful for his approachability, his wisdom, tenacity, and advocacy in leading the vultures in our U.S. and NATO missions. Bless General Sears with safe travels back to his wife and daughters as they enjoy reunion and reintegration before moving on to their next chapter in service to God and country. As Brigadier General Craig Baker assumes command, we ask your favor upon him and his family. Give him the strength of Samson, the wisdom of Solomon, and the endurance necessary as he leads the 455th AEW this next year. Bless our continued service in combat together in your holy name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you to the Honor Guard, Senior Airman Johnson for that beautiful rendition of the national anthem, and Chaplain Jans for the invocation. At this time, we would like to recognize our distinguished guests in attendance of today's ceremony. Please hold applause until all DVs have been greeted. The Deputy Commander, NATO Air Command, Afghanistan, Air Commodore Stephen Lushington. The Command Chief, 9th Air and Space Expeditionary Task Force, Afghanistan, Chief Master Sergeant Lisa Arnold. Representing the Commanding General, Bagram Airfield, Brigadier General Patrick Donahoe. Representing the Commanding General, NATO Special Operations Component Command, Afghanistan, the Deputy Commanding General, Brigadier General Kirk Smith. The Commander, 438th Air Expeditionary Wing, Brigadier General Philip Stewart. The Command Chief, 438th Air Expeditionary Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Shane Wagner. We would also like to extend a warm welcome to all other commanders, chiefs, sergeant majors, first sergeants, and all those who have taken time out of their day to witness this time-honored tradition. Thank you for attending today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 9th Air and Space Expeditionary Task Force, Afghanistan, Major General Jim Hecker.
Well, good morning, everyone. What a great day. Great day in Afghanistan. You know, you look outside here, you see the aircraft lined up. You see the Viper over here to the left. We got the 130s. We got the HH-60. They didn't get here by themselves. That was a lot of hard work from some maintainers, so thanks for making that happen to make this special moment for our commanders up here. I'd also like to thank Calvin for that great job with the national anthem, as well as Chaplain Jans for his inspiring words in the invocation. And the Honor Guard, and of course everybody who helped set this up from the mission support group that's out there, well done. Comms are working, which is always a relief for whoever set this up, but things are good. Today we're here to witness the change of command of the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing, where Brigadier General Shredder Sears will relinquish command reluctantly to Brigadier General Bluto Baker. You know, Shredder has had a great time here. He will be the first person that will tell you that none of it was due to his leadership. He'll say that it's all because of his group commanders, all 5 of them, and the people underneath his group commanders, his airmen, that had to call the duty and made it happen. And that is true, but I tell you what, he deserves some credit, because he's done some great work here. When I kind of look back at the year that Shredder spent here, it kind of can be summed up by he was forced to do a drawdown, but he made sure that his combat capability didn't draw down at all. Let me just kind of go over a couple numbers that are pretty impressive. They're just numbers, but internalize what these numbers, what it takes to get this job done. Here's the things that General Sears has delivered along with your help. Roughly 16,000 sorties, 1,400 airstrikes, resulting in 3,000 enemy killed in action, delivering 56,000 tons of cargo and 75,000 passengers. Pretty impressive list over a year, especially when you consider the assets that were taken away from him, and he was still able to get it done. One of the things that he did is he made sure that during this drawdown, if anyone was injured or hurt or ejected over combat territory, that he could get them. So he revolutionized the personal recovery system using an innovative approach of combat tactical airlift, combat search and rescue, and the aeromedical evacuation squadron. Pretty impressive to make sure that our soldiers, sailors, and Marines and airmen stay safe. With the HH-60s, on his own accord, he decided that it wasn't good enough to sit alert out of here. When we were doing some major operations a little bit to the east side over here. So on his own, he decided to deploy a deployed unit to Jalalabad to make sure that they are closer to the fight. He knew that that extra 15 minutes or 30 minutes could be the difference between life and death. It wasn't easy, but it was the right thing to do. And he made it happen, and we were safer because of it. As we decreased the number of F-16s we had to make sure that we had close air support for our soldiers on the ground. He was able to make that happen when we got a couple extra RPA lines that we could fly from the States, but we needed somebody over here to make sure they could launch those MQ-9s. He didn't get any extra people. He didn't get any extra aircraft, but he did launch 2 lines a day, 3 days a week, that supported primarily TAC South and TAC Southeast. And most of the time when they came back, they didn't have any Hellfires and they didn't have any bombs. Who knows? Good chance you saved a life by that command decision. We'll never know, but it was definitely the right decision. We went from 18 down to 12 F-16s. We still needed to do 24 hours of close air support. Shredder made sure that we did that, against all the naysayers who said, no, you won't be able to do that with just 12 F-16s. He did it, and he did it for 6 months straight. And he made sure that people were protected. He made sure that we had comms across this country. with the E11. He had 4 of them. One was taken away for a while and one broke. That left him 2 to do 24/7 ops. You can do the math. That's roughly 13-hour missions once you include the overlap. He made that happen. Shredder's a doer. The med group, his med group, kept us safe. 668 surgeries. That's a lot of surgeries. The Aeromedical Evacuation Squadron evacuated 392 patients. That's incredible. The C-130 unit sits alert with the Aeromedical Evacuation Squadron, and their deal is they'll be ready to take anyone, anywhere to get medical treatment in 3 hours. That's awesome right there, right? All right, we're gonna have one more, I think. Maybe. We'll see. Here it comes. That's that close air support I was talking about right there. That's the sound of freedom, right? And they stand sitting alert, ready to take us anywhere in 3 hours. I don't think it's ever taken them 3 hours. They always beat it. They always get us there and make sure that we're safe. You know, he does this in a time of war. You know, during this time here, he had 59 indirect fires that came onto the base. Yesterday probably would have been 60 if it wasn't for the good support from ComBAF here. They were able to, shall I say, neutralize the threat last night and took out some people that were placing an IDF so that we're safe. Thanks for that. One of the things that Shredder is probably be most proud of, or he's humble, so he's probably not proud of it, but he should be. On 12 November 2016, there was a suicide vest IED that unfortunately killed 5 of our servicemen. It was a tough time. I'm sure a lot of you were here during that time. That's when you really figure out what people are made of, what they can do. His leadership was crucial during that time, and his leadership and the relationships that he built with ComBAF, with Major Jim, that they got through those times, and you got through those times all right. The base was locked down for 4 hours. But during those 4 hours, he knew that there were some soldiers out in Afghanistan that needed protection. He did not miss, and you guys did not miss, one ATO line during that event, during that 4-hour shutdown. All fighters took off. He didn't miss any of the strategic airlift. All those took off. In addition, he took 2 C-130s and moved some critical cargo to a different AOR to support a different mission. That mission was OIR. All that happened during this time. And while he was making sure that the soldiers out in Afghanistan are safe, he was also comforting the people here at home. Truly a great accomplishment. Shredder is going to go off to San Antonio. He's going to be the A2310 there. He will join his wife, Vicki, daughters, Jillian and Madison, and he'll also go to Hawaii to do a little R&R, starting on June 20th for a week vacation, well-deserved, with Vicki. We'll be back here, still doing the mission, still thinking of all the words that Shredder talked to us about, all those inspirational words. If on June 21st you could do one thing for all of us, raise a Mai Tai and send us a prayer over this way, I'm sure you will. Job well done. You built something that you can be proud of, and one day you're going to be telling your grandsons and your granddaughters what you did over here, and you built a story you can be proud of, buddy. Thank you. Some pretty big shoes to fill, but the perfect person to do that is sitting to Shredder's left, Bluto Baker. Bluto Baker has his family dialed in. You probably can't see it, but there's 3 cell phones up here. Hopefully they're working, and FaceTime is doing what they can. He's got his 2 parents on the other end of that. He's got 2 sisters, a brother, a girlfriend, and a son. They took the time, I don't even know what time it is there, but it's not 8:30 in the morning. But if I could just speak to his parents just for a second. Your son has done an incredible job. The achievement of making 07 is a big deal. The achievement of becoming a squadron commander like he's been is a big deal. The achievement of being a vice commander is a big deal. The achievement of being a wing commander is a big deal, which he's done before. Now he's going to be a wing commander twice. His second wing command is a 07 command, and it's in combat. That is pretty much the ultimate achievement that you can fulfill. The United States Air Force does a lot of leadership training to help out our airmen as they move on. And Bluto's no exception. He's gone to a lot of those training. But what I've seen over and over again is the leadership and the development that they get in those first 18 years of their life is really what makes a difference. Thanks to both of you for taking that job very to heart and making Bluto who he is today, which is just an incredible man, an incredible peer for me, and an incredible son for you. Thank you so much for doing that. About Bluto, Bluto's a West Point graduate. Not many Air Force people are West Point graduates. I almost get a hoo-ah out of the crowd here. He'll obviously have instant credibility. But he was a smart West Point graduate and joined the Air Force the day after he graduated. From there, he went on to pilot training. Went to Reese Air Force Base, where he graduated as a distinguished graduate. From there, he got selected to fly F-16s, went to F-16 RTU, where he graduated as a distinguished graduate. Went on to fly operationally, impress people there to go to the weapons school, which is a very difficult school for us to go to. He went there, graduated, yes, as a distinguished graduate. Got the top flying award there, went operational again, came back to be an instructor at the weapons school. Very few people are able to do that. Transitioned over to the F-22 at Holloman and became a squadron commander there. Was a vice commander at Nellis Air Force Base, and then a wing commander with the Guard Air Force Base at Toledo, which was a great experience for us to be able to do as active duty members. Lastly, he was the director of Checkmate, and now he's soon to be your boss. I can tell you, you guys are lucky. I've had the pleasure of knowing Bluto for a while now, and there's no one better to replace Shredder than Bluto. He will take this wing to higher ground. He will make sure that the combat mission gets done, and he will be up on the stage a year from now, just like Shredder is, with his chest held high, because he knew he did his best, and he knew that he did everything he could to protect each and every one of you, as well as everyone out on the ground in Afghanistan to make sure that they come back alive. Bluto, congratulations, thank you, you're gonna do a great job. And Shredder, you built a great wing here. Truly an amazing crowd out here. Thank you for all that you do, and appreciate it. Thank you. And now I think it's time for Shredder to come up, and we're going to put a Bronze Star on his chest, so if everyone could stand up and join me here. Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Brigadier General James R. Sears, Jr. distinguished himself by meritorious achievement as Commander, 455th Air Expeditionary Wing, while engaged in action against an enemy of the United States at Bagram Airfield, Afghanistan, from 31 May 2016 to 3 June 2017. During this period, while deployed in support of Operation Freedom Sentinel and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization's Resolute Support Mission, and exposed to extreme danger from an improvised explosive device and 59 indirect fire attacks, General Sears led to the Sole Combat Wing in Afghanistan, which produced major contributions to the national security of the United States. As the senior airfield authority for 3 of the Department of Defense's busiest combat airfields, he molded 5,300 airmen who supported and executed over 15,800 sorties, which delivered more than 1,369 kinetic strikes, resulting in 2,836 enemies killed in action, and transported 56,554 tons of cargo and 74,876 passengers. General Sears positioned the wing to continuously conduct combat operations in support of both counterterrorism and train, advise, and assist missions through detailed planning and close coordination with higher headquarters, joint, and coalition partners, while reducing presidentially directed force management levels by 24%. He also strategically reconfigured the wing for enduring operations with a long-term airfield master plan of 48 projects totaling more than $57 million and establishing a continuity of operations plan for sustained deployed operations. Under General Sears' guidance, a revolutionary personnel recovery option was developed that merged tactical airlift, combat search and rescue, and aeromedical evacuation capabilities and filled a critical personnel recovery gap. He oversaw the largest and busiest Role 3 hospital in Afghanistan, which saw 15,023 patients, conducted 668 surgeries, and aeromedically evacuated 392 patients from the combat zone to safety. In addition, on 12 November 2016, in the aftermath of a suicide vest improvised explosive device attack that took the lives of 5, General Sears provided immediate response and sound leadership in an uncertain situation to initiate recovery actions that rapidly restored airfield operations to ensure aerial support was ever present for frontline troops. The exemplary leadership, personal endeavor, and devotion to duty displayed by General Sears in this responsible position reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 455th Air Expeditionary Wing, Brigadier General Sears.
Well, good morning. Wow. What a great morning to be an American Airman. If everybody here hasn't had a chance to look out on the ramp there, I encourage you all to either do it now or after we're off the stage, come up here and take a look out there. And then look around the hangar here. I'm pretty sure this is how G.I. Joe felt when he was in my sandbox growing up. This is what an amazing display and just a little piece of what it is we do here in the Vultures. General Nicholson unfortunately couldn't join us this morning. Had to meet with somebody named President Ghani, who I think is pretty important here. All right, on that note, everybody in the formation, make sure you move your feet around, take a break here if you need to, all right? You guys have all got to be back in the fight here in about 10 minutes. So make sure you take it easy and do what you need to get back in the fight here this afternoon. But distinguished guests, commanders, chiefs, sergeant majors, fellow Vultures, I appreciate everybody taking time out of their day defending, supporting, and deliver air power to be a part of what we are, and to congratulate, quite frankly, the men and women in the formations in front of us here today. To the First Cap Band and the Honor Guard, you guys bring a touch of class that, quite frankly, is just not expected in a combat zone. I appreciate everything you did to be here. Thanks to Chaplain Jans for those inspiring words. And if everyone The one person who always gets gypped at these, because we're standing at attention and we go right to the chaplain, is the national anthem singer. So if Senior Airman Johnson could take a bow and everybody could give him a round of applause. That was very well done. Staff Sergeant Allison, phenomenal job. You still got a little bit more to go here, but you might have a future in broadcasting. And then Lieutenant Rayom and Tech Sergeant Guston. We're way back, of course. That's where protocol lives, back in the back. But many thanks. You guys are what really brought this all together and make it such a special occasion today. I thank General Nicholson this morning for, quite frankly, being the best air power advocate in Afghanistan. But quite frankly, it has been my true honor to support his soldiers and his people that are doing the mission here in Afghanistan with 4 runways, the 2 busiest combat logistics hubs in DoD, and Craig Joint Theater Hospital for the last year, and maybe a little bit of decisive air power in there as well. I know Major General Thompson is on his well-earned R&R, but I saw Paul Maley over here, and General Donahoe, if you would pass on my thanks to him and his staff for their energy and their support to our combat mission here. The partnership between the Wing Commander and COMBAF is critical to making sure that we can deliver that decisive air power to the rest of Afghanistan, and we can't do it without him. Commanding in combat truly has been the greatest honor of my career. Last fall, when General Carlisle, the Commander of Air Combat Command, was here, he asked me how things were going, and I thanked him for giving me the best job in the Air Force, to which he promptly looked at me and said, "You're damn right you have the best job in the Air Force." And we had a good laugh at that. However, I really have had the best job in the Air Force for the last year. I owe General Carlisle, Lieutenant General Hurrigan, and Major General Tolliver so much for being such a great year. General Hecker, you represent everything that was entrusted to me by multiple levels of leadership over that time. Thank you for your leadership over the last couple months, and I know that air power is in great hands in Afghanistan for the next year. In just a few days, I'll be able to hug my wife, Vicki, and personally thank her for everything she did so that I could focus on the enemy this year. None of this is worth anything without her and my daughters. Bluto, you've got an amazing year ahead of you. Best of luck, my friend. Blink, and it'll be June of next year. I'd be remiss if I didn't pass on one more thank you before I get to my comments, and that's if everyone here would please join me in a round of applause for Chief Master Sergeant Pete Speen spending his 30th and final year of service to our great nation with me in Afghanistan. Who puts their wife and that next to each other in a speech? I don't know. But now a few words to the wonderful men and women I've served with in the 455th AEW Vultures. Secretary Mattis famously said that if you read about history, you become aware that nothing begins with us. 74 years ago, the 455th Bombardment Group and her B-24s were serving over the skies of places the generations since have studied and thought about with horror. Anzio, Cassino, Ploesti. Our forebears served honorably, while unfortunately 400 airmen paid the ultimate sacrifice. Bagram Airfield and the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing and the airmen with whom I have had that honor to serve over the last year continue that legacy of valor today. Despite rockets, rains, winds, and the extremes of Afghan summer and winter, fewer personnel than any home station unit, we were able to launch more than 2 entire years worth of home station flying. More importantly, U.S. and coalition forward operating bases, thousands of American service members, tens of thousands of civilians conduct operations without worrying about food, water, and life-saving support. The thousands of close air support sorties and hundreds of bombs that you just heard about sound interesting, but they mean so much more to me and so much more to so many other people. There are U.S. and coalition soldiers who safely returned home to hug their families because airmen were there when they needed them. And ultimately, because of airmen like you, there are fewer terrorists in the world today. Vultures, your legacy is truly amazing. Your service impacts the lives of the 99% of Americans who will never know what it's like to miss a birthday, a holiday, an anniversary, or the birth of a child. You have put places on the map that generations of Americans will study and remember as well. Nangarhar, Lashkar Gah, Sangin, and Roberts Ridge. You are part of a tradition of honor and a legacy of valor that continues to prove what Hap Arnold knew so well. Without air power, you lose. I am truly honored and humbled to stand here before you today as the commander of a storied wing. I'm tremendously proud of everything you do every day to protect America and that 99%. I thank you for your service, and I thank your families for their sacrifices today and every day so that we can successfully conduct counterterrorism operations and enable the Train, Advise, and Assist campaign with our Afghan partners. America is safer because you are here. Together we are the premier air wing in the world's greatest Air Force, and I know that because, Chief Speen, could you help me out one more time?
Vulture!
Lead the way! Thank you all once again. Vulture 1 signing off.
Thank you, Brigadier General Sears. The 455th Air Expeditionary Wing will now render their last salute to Brigadier General Sears. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the official change of command ceremony. Attention to orders. Department of the Air Force, Headquarters, United States Air Force, Washington, D.C. Special Order Number G17-02, dated 22 May 2017, under the provisions of Air Force Instruction 51-604 and effective the 3rd day of June 2017. Brigadier General James R. Sears relinquishes command of the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing, Bagram Airfield, Afghanistan, and Brigadier General Craig R. Baker assumes command of the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing, Bagram Airfield, Afghanistan, by order of the Commander, 9th Air and Space Expeditionary Task Force, Afghanistan, Major General James B. Hecker. Please be seated. It is my privilege to introduce the Commander, 455th Air Expeditionary Wing, Brigadier General Craig Baker.
Good morning, Vultures. The coolest thing about this is, for most of the ceremonies, I'm usually following two guys that are over 6 feet tall. But in a lot of cases, I have to adjust the microphone, and in this particular case, the microphone is perfectly at my height, a strong 5 feet 5 inches. So guys, I appreciate that. And Com, thank you very much. You knew I was coming. But again, good morning, Vultures. It's been an amazing day, and is an amazing day to be an airman in the United States Air Force, and I offer you the same thing Shredder did. If you haven't taken time to look around you at the display of awesome air power in the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing, I invite you and encourage you to do that. And thank you again for all being here. I especially want to thank Major General Hecker, general officers, all fellow commanders, chiefs, sergeant majors, first sergeants, interagency partners, contractors, multinational partners, those family and friends that are watching online, and of course, all the members of the Air Force's finest Expeditionary Wing. Your attendance and participation in this time-honored tradition is greatly appreciated. I love ceremonies like this. Change of commands are an extremely important part of our military heritage. And I would like to also extend a thanks, in addition to General Hecker and General Sears, for everybody that had anything to do with this ceremony. It's awesome to be a part of it. And can we give one more round of applause for all those that set this up and for all those that are responsible for this ceremony? Thank you. What a selfless sacrifice. Being given the privilege and the gift of command also brings with it many responsibilities. None more important than ensuring mission success and taking care of our deployed airmen and their families. Command also produces emotions and feelings that can only come from the honor of leading those who are willing to sacrifice so much for not only their country, but fellow Americans. Those I will not forget while in command of the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing. I want to begin by thanking Major General Hecker for this incredible opportunity to lead the Vultures and for having the vision to choose me, as well as the courage to act on that vision. I'm truly honored for this rare opportunity, a chance to command a second wing, and this time in combat. Sir, I appreciate your trust, your confidence, and your support. I promise you this wing will get what it deserves. 100% of my effort, keeping focused on the mission while taking care of our airmen and always looking for ways to improve. Thank you. I also need to thank my family, who are all watching online. There is no doubt that the reason I am standing here today is because of you, my incredible family. Thank you to my mom, my dad, my brother, my sisters, and all of their families. My mom taught me dedication, my dad perseverance, and collectively you all taught me sacrifice and growing up in households where the importance and the honor of service was exemplified virtually every day. You taught me the inherent value of honesty, hard work, and to always do and be the best. Nothing could have prepared me better in life or have prepared me better for serving an organization who also values integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all you do. I love you all. I would also like to thank my son Sam for making me more proud every day, for teaching me the value of relationships, and for not only writing this speech, but also for selecting my wardrobe. Son, these OCPs are pure genius. Thanks for your support and sacrifice. I love you, son. And finally, I want to thank my lovely and beautiful little lady, Lauren. I couldn't be more proud, fortunate, and any luckier to call you my girl. Someone who is supportive and there for me in everything that I do. Someone who has taught me selfless service. Thank you for your sacrifice, support, love, care, counsel, and advice. Our connection is like no other. I love you, baby. Like all of our families in this wing and throughout our Air Force, nothing I do would be possible without your support and sacrifices you are so willing to make. I would also like to thank a heartfelt thank you to Brigadier General Shredder Sears for his warm welcome, his unwavering service and sacrifice over the past year, and for leading the world's best wing to new heights of excellence and mission success with passion and professionalism. And just as important, while you've been quite busy, Shredder, for the last 12 months, thanks for taking the time to not only answer all my goofy questions, but ensuring that I was fully prepared for this challenge. There is no doubt that the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing is and continues to be recognized as the Air Force's best because of your efforts. The organization will continue to benefit from your hard work and dedication for all years to come. I am grateful for your leadership and for leaving me in a situation where my biggest challenge is to not screw up what we've got. I want to wish you and your family the best, especially as you take on challenges at AETC as the A2, 3, and 10. Thank you, Shredder. The 455th Air Expeditionary Wing's success is founded upon steadfast support and trust for our amazing Department of Defense, joint, interagency, and multinational partners. Without questions, you are all our wing's most essential airmen. Vital partners, or without question, you are our wing's most essential airmen, vital partners for our enduring mission success, and we will continue to thrive and prosper together. It is essential our relationship is one of harmony, ensuring compatibility in opinion, action, and mission. I personally look forward to getting to know all of you and for working together for mission success. And finally, to the airmen of the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing, I stand before you very proud and very humbled. It is an indescribable, incredible honor and privilege to be your new commander, Vulture 1. You are known throughout the Air Force and throughout the world as the very best. We have a phenomenal team here. Your sense of duty, loyalty, and commitment make the seemingly impossible tasks look easy. You represent the standard of excellence expected of our airmen and are an astounding array of 21st century combat air power, as an F-16 lands behind me. These are challenging and demanding times for our nation. We are at the tip of the spear generating, supporting, and delivering combat air power for the nation, friends, and allies, and to help the Afghan people defeat terrorists that have infested their country. So we need your professionalism, dedication, experience, courage, ingenuity, innovation, and talents more than ever. By working together and never accepting anything less than excellence, we will ensure that the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing continues to be the premier counterterrorism wing, enabling a successful train, advise, and assist campaign. Failure is not an option, nor has it been throughout our prestigious Vulture heritage. Second best is unacceptable when you are dealing with the protection of our country and our way of life. We are part of the profession of arms. Some of you are here for 3 months, some 4, some 6 months, some a year. And I know there's at least one retired senior NCO, Woody, who I got to meet yesterday, that has been here for over a decade. Either way, we are deployed together as one team. We will continue to execute our mission. We will not forget to take care of our most important asset, you, our deployed airmen. And to that end, I promise my heart and soul to our mission, our airmen and their families, and our joint interagency and multinational partners. My charge to you is simple: lead well. Thank you for who you are, everything that you stand for, everything that you do, and for how well you do it. You make a difference. Vultures lead the way.
At this time, the men and women of the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing will render their first salute to Brigadier General Baker. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Major General Hecker and the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing, thank you for attending today's ceremony. We invite all guests to stay and welcome Brigadier General Baker at the reception area in the back of the hangar.